Ali Guba division as they urged the Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Belai to intervene urgently regarding the Mayemen chieftaincy saga. Those were our top stories. Warm greetings to you all. You are welcome to High Prime for this Wednesday evening of the 2nd of April 2025. A presentation. I am attending Larry Kevin Tabot. We begin this newscast with a story from the town of Boya, whereby students of the Cameroon Industrial Opportunity School, known for short as OIC, has made a clear call to the top regional officials to intervene in what they describe as land grabbing on their school piece of land over there as great support. These as they accuse an individual in the town of Boya who is using the local authorities to infringe on their property. As they say, that land has been an OIC land for the past more than 3 decades now. Alice Leke Lengu attended that protest march and now brought back the following news package.
This Tuesday, April 1, 2025, the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator had a press session with some pressmen and women in the Southwest region and other state officials with regards to the publication of the 2024 annual report of the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator. The session, which was chaired by the Public Independent Conciliator of the Southwest region, clarified all worries, doubts, or questions.
There is mitigation. It's a mitigated report. There are areas of satisfaction in urban municipalities, especially municipalities of Fako and City Council, because they are in the urban centers and they really security and they have money to carry out projects. For the typical grassroots population, the remote areas of the southwest, it is really not easy, and so they have every reason to complain because they have other concerns. The state of the roads does not even merit that contractors should go and reach there, and even if they reach there, it's impossible for them to settle security concerns. And so developmental projects are not homogeneous throughout the region. And so people in the rural setting complain more than those in the urban setting. The problem is that the Southwest region is large, and the funds that are provided, they abandon the projects, but these projects are not carried out in the whole of the municipality. That's what I'm saying. But for those that are awarded and abandoned, it's a call for concern. And I think, like I mentioned, these contracts are not given by this service, and we call the goodwill of the service providers to try to engage and carry out the activity for which they themselves applied for, so that the population can be impacted. In fact,
the session was quite interactive as contributions did not just come from media men, but also from personalities who attended the event.
And carry out contracts, especially in Indian Division, and have never set their leg there because of the crisis we are going through, giving the impression that we are never going to go through the crisis, and have seen some of them right here in Boya meeting their respective SDOs.
Understand that we are in an era of accountability.
It should be noted that the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator, going by her responsibility to reach to the grassroots population, her 2024 annual report covers all the divisions and subdivisions in the Southwest region. For despite the risks involved, Madam the Public Independent Conciliator and her office has touched the whole Southwest Cameroon. Going by the transparency of their office, the report is on their website, open for all to read, and the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator is always open for clarification.
And we now move on to the story from Manyemen village. As earlier mentioned during the headlines, this grant office were there to cry on what they describe as a Manyemen non-native as their traditional ruler to do the needful so as to address this saga. More on that in the following news package. Dressed in black, indigenes of Manyemen village of the Southwest region makes their way to the Southwest Governor's office to make their voices heard on what they describe as chieftaincy interference from the local administration in the area.
Chieftaincy in Manyemen constitute of 5 different families. And when you go into detail, these same 5 families, they select kingmakers from this family to produce a chief. And from beginning, since in 1936, the first chief that was enthroned, is coming from the Jet family. So, and that is how it has been going in line.
Most of the protesters at the governor's office explained on the recently crowned chief who was endorsed by the senior divisional officer of Kupe Mwaninguba division as a non-native of the village.
Come here because SDO wants for our village. That's why we don't vex to come outside, especially the women. Now the thing that we dress in black because we're not really happy. Our village will be a very peaceful village, Manyemen. But SDO, because of money, the Manyemen don't be corrupted.
We now chieftaincy blabber. The chieftaincy, they don't take her now. They say that the game now for place who man will not be with country picking. He not be with country picking. He be better picking. He not be even belongs to Manyemen. From where your papa house they so go down to Beto. Now for day. Then come up so na Manyemen. So we will not know ye. Ye do not know we. Ye be better picking. We no know ye. Ye do not know we.
Shedding more light on the royal stool of Manyemen people, one of the elders in the village decried the foul play involved in the selection process.
Grandfather came from somewhere, the upper lands, and my grandfather, Tabimanga, employed him to work with him in his farm. That's when he gave birth to the father, the other grandfather who gave birth to him. So it's not, and we cannot accept.
With songs of protest sung, this other faction of Manyemen people vent their plight and anguish, calling on the Southwest governor to intervene in this chieftaincy palaver so as to bring sanity in the village. And let's cross on over to OIC, where students of OIC took to the streets of Buea yesterday to decry on what they describe as land grabbing phenomenon that is currently unfolding in one of the pieces of land that they own there in the town of Buea. They accused a certain individual in the town of Buea who is using his popularity and power to infringe on their land property. More on that with you, Alice Leke Liengu.
Industrialized Center OIC Buea woke up Tuesday.
When we send out training for them to practicalize, it is through this that they carry out their practicals. So to our utter shock, we were surprised seeing that us coming to the site, they have put up an injunction order depriving the trainees for them not to practicalize. So we're all surprised, and we expect that this land which has been given to us by the head of state, President Paul Biya, over 30 years, we were surprised that a document came out just within 4 days by the
minister. To work today, we discovered that there is an injunction order signed by the assistant CEO of Buea. And we don't know, the injunction order spells that this land, there is a dispute between Cameroon OIC and a certain Mr. Dashako that we don't even know. We have never shared boundaries with Mr. Dashako. This land has been for 38 years since the creation of OIC. All documents are in place. So we don't know who we are fighting with. And as a result of this morning we have sent trainees to go and work. Trainees cannot work because there is an injunction order. I was called to see it. And we cannot continue. And that's why you see the trainees, they are like, what do? We cannot even have practicals because that's our practical ground. We cannot have sport, that's our sporting ground. We cannot have agriculture because that's our agricultural field. What is happening? And that's why they are all over the place with their signposts saying that no to this kind of maltreatment, no to the underprivileged, no to the fact that Cameroonian youth cannot grow, no to the fact that someone can even seize a land that was instituted by the president of this country. Where is Buea?
The school has been existing for over 38 years, and the only time they gave permission for the land to be used was when Buea Council wanted to decongest the Great Support Market, popularly known as the OIC market.
Having problems, but what I understand is that the Buea Royal Council came to an agreement with OIC to decongest the markets, the Great Support Market, and we have a written document that OIC said yes, because we're a community-based school, because community is one of our objectives, let's help to decongest the market. So we gave it to the Buea market, which now again they are giving back to OIC. That's all I know. So far that's all.
Information like no to land grabbing, help us Mr. President, no to injustice were written on the placards carried.
Let's take you to the town of Kumba, where a fire outbreak at the Dubai Center opposite Kumba Main Market has rendered a series of shops burned down after the fire outbreak started there. The cause of the fire has not been established. The inferno rapidly ravaged the said shops that took the kindly intervention of the Army Rescue Unit of the Kumba Military Battalion to intervene. Later on saw the visits from the Senior Divisional Officer for Meme, Twandong Chamberlain, the DO for Kumba 1, Aliu Nahibu, and the Mayor of Kumba 1 Council, Barrister Moses Esembe, who went there to consult with the victims of the fire incident that occurred this afternoon. Our Kumba-based reporter Rolantine Engwari has more.
Some shops in a section at the Kumba Main Market, Dubai Center, have been consumed by fire this afternoon. On April 2, 2025, the exact cause of the fire is unknown. According to one of the victims, the fire started in a Carabot building, which now spread to where there was gas and mattresses, as we hear him speak.
The second compound behind, when the fire started, but I will come out, fire never crossed. But unfortunately, the heat of the fire not keeping you go close. Because you know, rescue some of the so the fire now has entered maternity mattress, they like light down.
It was thanks to the fire extinguishers, their timely intervention, that the situation has been put under control. The Senior Divisional Officer for Meme Division, Twandong Chamberlain, at the scene of the event, extended encouraging words to the victims.
Very good incident. That just occurred in the Dubai market, in the area where they are selling mattresses. And this serious fire incident. Let me first of all say a share to all the population affected, all the traders affected. I think the Army Rescue, we are there since to try to stabilize the situation. And now we can say together that the situation is under control. A mixed commission is going to be set up by the ESCO right now in order to make an inventory of the point of the person affected by that sad incident. So we can forward adequate report to the Minister of Territorial Administration, who is in charge of civil protection. And in the other vein, I I will just advise my population to remain calm. The state is going to do everything in order to reestablish them in their normal life. It's not easy, but now is the will of Almighty God. Cannot do anything. All we are going to do is just
ahead while promising some assistance to the victims.
And if you are just joining us, you are on to High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our news studios here in High Television in Buea from the southwest region of Cameroon. We now take you to this humanitarian action where a non-profit organization based in the nation Cameroon, known as the Libra Association for Widows, known for short as Law Cameroon, has concluded a one-day workshop in the town of Limbe that brought on board selected participants drawn from the nation. The workshop that centered around promoting civic engagement in youth and women is being funded by the United Nations Democracy Fund. More on this in the following news package. And we apologize greatly there for that. That's inconvenience. We move on to we come into that report in a subsequent newscast. We take you now to this story from the town of Buea still, where Christians in Buea has been called upon to follow Jesus Christ's good example as a way of life so they can make heaven at last. Their call was made by Apostle Nyensi Eta Boris as he opened the workshop or seminar for pastors there in the town of Buea. Alice Leke was there, and I'll come back with the story.
This is Global Leader Conference 2025. The conference that brought together worshippers of Christ was organized by Apostle Nyensi Eta Boris of Pastors Training School of Ministry International.
Village of Praise and the Saint Man, perfecting the Saints Movement International. We are here on the 9th edition of the Glorious Life Conference. 9 years ago, the Lord gave me an inspiration to organize a conference where the life of Christ can be celebrated in the...
It was held under the theme, His Name is Jesus.
In the edition, the theme was, His Name is Jesus. The man who saved us. Who is he? His name is Jesus. The one who has redeemed us, purchased us by his blood. Who is he? His name is Jesus. The one we would live for. What's his name? Jesus. So in this edition, our goal was to present Jesus to the believer as Savior. In fact, as Yahshua. Yahshua means the totality of what we would ever need. All we are searching for is wrapped up in that name, Yahshua, from where the name Yeshua comes from. So I believe that this was a 100% success.
Inspiring messages from sons and daughters of Pastors Training School Ministry International was also shared during the events.
Help us to ascend in Jesus' name. Amen. Seated very vibrantly. I needed to stay you up because teaching makes sense to me. I know I'm talking as a teacher. So I needed to take you high so that if you are sleeping when you're already at this normal level.
Once you are clear on the fact that God has sent you to the mountain of education, put oil on your head.
This time, we'll be moving from nation to nation, organizing the Glorious Life Conference. So if you're watching me from any part of the world, you might want to be part of this movement, you might want to be part of this army. BTSMI Army, which is called the Jesus Army.
The conference was a transformative experience for all who attended.
During GLC 2025, not just as the prefecture of the house,
as Christians left happier and more blessed than they came.
And crossing on to our sports dossiers for tonight's preparation has intensified for the upcoming National Veteran competition that will be taking place in the town of Buea. From that is bringing on board 24 teams in the veteran football category, will be one that many will be watching out for, as we have details in its upcoming sports reports.
In a bid to encourage social cohesion through sport, preparation to launching the National Veteran Tournament Naveto 2025 has kick-started. The tournament that has been slated for 29th to the 31st of May will take place in the Buea municipality.
By virtue of our rules and being a federation of clubs,